Welcome, my dear children. So today we will see the next chapter, that is chemical kinetics. Actually, this is the fourth chapter. First chapter, solid state, is not in the syllabus. Second chapter, solutions. Third chapter, electrochemistry. Fourth chapter is chemical kinetics. This is also an important topic. You will get numericals and maximum some 6 to 8 marks you will get from this chapter. So, chemical kinetics. Kinetics means energy which is supplied where the particles will move in the chemical reactions. So we will deal mainly those reactions. Generally we know that some reactions are very fast. Reactions are there. Example, ionic reactions. That means sodium chloride, that is salt. If you add it in the water, so immediately they will become into the ions. So that is a fast reactions. Some reactions are very slow. Example is iron rust, getting iron rust. So it is a slow process. And again, some reactions are intermediate in between these two. But in chemical kinetics, mainly we will deal some important concepts like rate of reaction and average rate of reaction and instantaneous reaction. Some terms we will learn it. When the reaction takes place, when you are able to write the rate of reaction, can be write which will describe the rate law and rate constant, and order and molecularity of the rate of reaction, and what are the units of the reaction constants. So we will discuss about the main things, 5 points today in this video. So first one is the rate. Second one, average rate and instantaneous rate. What is the main difference between these two? And rate law and rate constant, and order of reaction and molecularity, and units of reaction constant. If you know these things, half of the lesson you can understand very easily. First, let us see rate. Whenever we are observing a chemical reaction, some reactions they are very fast. Means we can say that in terms of that rate of chemical reaction is very high. That means very fast. So generally, let us take one example. The reactants, they will react and they will give the products. So it is just a general example of a reaction. So reactants are, P is the products. Already we know that we want to observe a chemical reaction. In the beginning, if you observe it, if the reactants are the high concentration will be there, that is 100% concentration will be there. But products, they do not form in the beginning of the reaction, so they will start from 0% of products. But after some time, in T seconds of time, what will happen? Slowly the reactants percentage will decrease, and how much it is decreasing, the same amount the product will increase. Suppose 5% if it is decreasing, here 5% will be increasing. So like that the reaction will be carried. So that is after a particular time, T seconds, sometimes the reactants, so they may become the 0. At the same time, the products may become 100%. So like this, by using this concentration, change in the concentration in a particular time taken, so we can derive some rules, that is rate of reaction. So generally, rate of reaction is nothing but the change in the concentration and in a particular time taken. Change in the concentration, change by time taken. So how to find out? Suppose in this one, some terminology we will use it. Suppose initial concentration, in the beginning we will write down as R0. That is, concentration means we will use the square brackets. So in the beginning, initial concentration, if it is R0, and the final concentration, if it is R. Then to change from R0 to R, let us take the time taken is T seconds. Then rate of reaction. So rate is equal to change in the concentration. How you will find out this change? Final value minus initial value. Final value minus initial value. So R minus R0. That is the final minus initial by time taken. So the same, the change in the concentration, it can be written in the mathematical terms, delta R by change of the reactants by delta T. That is change in the time taken. So rate of reaction is nothing but a change in the concentration by time taken. First of all, you should know it. Now we will come to the representation of the symbolic representation. Already we know that in the initially it is very high, but after some time it becomes low. That means final value will be less than the original value. In terms of reactants, final value is less than the initial value. When you are subtracting final minus initial, definitely you will get a negative answer. That means negative delta R by delta T. So that means a decrease in the concentration will be there. Reactants concentration will decreases, but if you observe it, in terms of products, you will get as the final initial value 0, final value positive. So therefore final minus initial, you will always get the positive. So that is delta concentration of P by delta T. So that is also rate of products. So like this, we will explain the rate of reaction. So generally, finally we can say that what is the rate of reaction? Change in the concentration by time taken. So that is the formula or definition to explain the rate of reaction. Now, we will come to the average rate and instantaneous rate. So this is easy only. Already, let us take some example, then we can understand what is rate of reaction and the rate of reaction or average rate. Average means, so initial value, final value, time taken for that one. If you know that, we can write the average. Example, reactants R0 value in the beginning 100 grams and product in the initial it is equal to 0 grams. After 5 seconds of time, T is equal to 5 seconds. Then R0 value will becomes R1, change in the concentration at the time T1 seconds. Suppose let it be 95 grams. Then how much change is there? 5 grams change is there. How much time taken? 5 seconds of time. If you take it like this, then the average is nothing but the change in the concentration by time taken. The same you will get it. So therefore, rate of average rate of reaction is nothing but the change in the concentration by time taken. Just the original rate reaction only. The same you will get it. But instantaneous rate means, that means suppose again second one after t2 seconds of time, then R2 will be and 88 grams, let it be. Then you can find out the average rate of reaction is nothing but R1 to R2. How much change is there and time also how much minutes are there. So by dividing these two, you will get the average rate of reaction. That means average rate can be find out if you know the change in the time and change in the concentration. If you know it, we can find out average rate of reaction. But instantaneous rate means by using this data, we cannot find out the change at 70, 80 to 95, So 90 grams, when it will change, how much time it is taken, we cannot find out. To find out, that is at any instant, if you want to find out the average rate of reaction, that rate we are calling it as instantaneous rate. To find out the instantaneous rate, what we have to do? If you draw the graph between the concentration and the time taken. For suppose if you write for the reactants, so in the beginning at 0 seconds of time, 0, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Concentration is so much they have given molars. Then what will happen? In the beginning, rate of concentration of the reactants is very high. That means the graph will start from higher. And after time 15 seconds, the concentration will become low. That means concentration change will be there. If you draw a graph, you will get a graph like this. So that means concentration of the reactants is coming down, decreasing. Then if you want to calculate at 8 seconds of time, that means what is the concentration will be there. By using this, we can find out the value. But it is not that much easy to find out a value of the graph which is given in the parabola or any curved manner. So for that one, what you have to do, wherever you want to find out at this concentration, you want to calculate the time taken. Then what you have to do, you have to draw a tangent to that point. Then wherever it is meeting the concentration and the time, there you have to draw a triangular place, and then you can find out the slope of this line is nothing but the instantaneous rate of reaction. So instantaneous rate of reaction or instant means here also there will be there, it is nothing but the slope of the constant, slope of the reaction. That slope for reaction reactants, it will be the negative value, negative slope, because it is coming down. Suppose the rate of instant reaction for the product, if you take it, you will get the positive constant value. Slope of the equation or reaction is nothing but the rate of instantaneous reaction. So the rates can be written like this. This is called the instantaneous rate of reaction. At any place, if you are able to find out the time or the concentration, that rate we are calling it as the instantaneous rate of reaction. So these are the two terms that we are using. So go through this one, rate of reaction and average rate and instantaneous rate. Generally, instantaneous rate of reaction is expressed in terms of differentiation. That means minus concentration, differential value of concentration of d by dt. So this is the formula we will use for the instantaneous rate of reaction. So that means for any small quantity at any place we can find out by using the differential calculus. By using this differential calculus values, we can find out the instantaneous rate of reaction. So these are the two important terms that we are using. Now, so third one, rate law. Rate law. So that is R, reactants giving the products. Okay. And again, already we know that rate is equal to, already we know that it is directly proportional to the concentration of reactants or concentration of products. But generally, we will consider only the reactants. Rate is directly proportional to the concentration of the reactants. Generally, rate, how to write down? Delta minus, if it is there, delta concentration of R by delta T is equal to, is directly proportional to the rate concentration of this one. By using a constant proportionality, we can say that it is nothing but the K into R, concentration of R. That means if you express the rate of reaction in terms of concentration of the reactants, then that representation we will call it as rate law. Rate law, generally it is represented by the terms of concentration of the reactants. Sometimes in some reactions, example, nitrogen plus 3 times of hydrogen will give the 2 times of ammonia. To write down the rate of reaction for nitrogen, rate of reaction for hydrogen, rate of reaction for the 2NH3. So N2 concentration, if you write down rate of NH2, it is N2, sorry. N2 is equal to concentration of nitrogen by concentration of time taken. But here concentration of nitrogen by concentration, since it is the reactants, so it will decrease the concentration after t seconds of time. So therefore we will write down the negative. That means R rate of nitrogen, if you want to write, minus change in the concentration of nitrogen by change in the time taken. But since it is a reactants decrease in quantity, we are using the negative value. Same for the products. What will happen after t seconds of time? It will be increases. So rate of ammonia is equal to nothing but positive change in the concentration of ammonia by change in the time taken. But in a reaction, if stoichiometric quotients are there, then what will happen? those stoichiometric quotients will becomes the powers of the concentration. NH3 twice we will write down. Suppose if you express the rate of reaction in terms of the concentrations which are raised to the powers of their stoichiometric quotients, that is expression we will call it as rate law. It is also called the rate equation. It is also called a rate equation. So rate equation can be expressed in terms of the concentration of the reactants. Reactants means generally you will get the negative values. So that is about the rate law. And again rate constant K. Rate constant K. That what are the quantity that we are using as the constant value, that is called the rate constant K. Suppose example, rate of a reaction. For example, we will take it as H2 plus I2 gives rise to 2HI. First of all, we want to write down the rate of this equation. So rate is equal to, what is that? Negative value of change in the concentration of hydrogen by change in the time taken. This is for hydrogen. For iodine, what we will get it? Rate is equal to change in the concentration minus I2 by delta T. And again, for the rate of hydrogen iodide is equal to positive value of change in the concentration of hydrogen iodide by delta T. But here, 2 times is there. What is the meaning of this? Hydrogen and iodine, when you take it 1 mole, you are getting the 2 moles of hydrogen iodide. That means 2 times of hydrogen iodide, formation of 1 mole of hydrogen iodide if you want. Formation of 1 mole of hydrogen iodide. That means how many moles of hydrogen is required? So that means already we know that 2 moles of hydrogen iodide is giving out the hydrogen plus iodine. 1 mole. If you want to calculate the 2 moles of hydrogen iodide giving the hydrogen. So 1 mole of hydrogen iodide means this 2 will come here and it becomes by 2. 1 by 2, hydrogen by 2. So therefore, while writing the rate of reaction, what you have to do? You have to write down, to equalize all these things, we will write down this 2 will become half of the rate of reaction of hydrogen iodide. So therefore, we can say that all these rates of reactions are same. So therefore, we can write down that rate is equal to minus concentration change in the hydrogen by delta T. It is also equal to change in the concentration of iodine by delta T. It is also equal to change in the concentration of hydrogen iodide by delta T. But here, what you will get? It will get the positive value. Since it is having the stoichiometric quotient 2, it becomes 1 by 2. So like this, we will write down the rates of reaction of a particular reaction. An example, let us see one more example. Okay, because this is the most important, you should know it. How to write down the rate of reaction of a given equation. Example, N2 plus 3 times of H2 is equal to 2NH3. Then rate of reaction of nitrogen means, since it is the reactants, change in the concentration of nitrogen minus by delta T. It is also equal to change in the concentration of minus concentration of hydrogen by delta T. Since it is having the stoichiometric 3, so it can be written as 1 by 3. 3 changes into 1 by 3 is equal to change in the concentration of ammonia. Since it is a product, you will get the positive value. But since stoichiometric value is 2 is there, so we will write down 1 by 2 into delta T. So like this, we will write down the rate of reactions in terms of the concentrations and the time taken. But rate of reaction is different, rate law is different. Rate law means if you express the rate of reaction in terms of the molar concentrations, that expression we are calling it as the rate law. So rate law or rate equation. Rate law is equal to, whenever you are writing down, you have to write down the K into concentration of nitrogen. Okay, and reactants, concentration of hydrogen, product of these two. If you express, that is called the rate law. Rate law can be expressed only to the reactants, but not to the products. So rate law is nothing but expression of concentrations, product of concentrations of the reactants. If you write it, that is called the rate law. Sometimes, since it is having the stoichiometric quotient 3, it will be acting like a, what is that, exponential form of this stoichiometric values. It is changing. In a rate of reaction, it is becoming the division point, and in the rate law, it is expressing in terms of the powers. Okay, so this is called the rate law. So rate law is directly proportional to the products of the concentrations of the reactants. If you remove this constant, we will write down the K. K is called the rate constant. So concentration of reactants, whatever they are there. But that concentrations, stoichiometric values are raised to the power of X and raised to the power of Y, if general terms. This is called the rate law or rate equation or chemical reaction rate equation. So this is the most important to find out the other values in this equation. So this is the most important. So but here rate is equal to K into concentration of reactants, concentration of reactants only we will express. We don't take it as the products. So, but rate, we will take the products also, but in the rate law, we will take the concentrations of this only reactants, but not the products. Yes, I have given one equation to write down the rate of reaction. Rate of reaction is equal to, what is the things? Br minus, that is concentration of Br, change in the concentration of Br by delta T. Since it is the reactants come down, so you will get the minus. But here since stoichiometric quotient is there 5, so what you have to write down? 1 by 5, that is minus 1 by 5, change in the concentration of Br by change in the time. This is equal to, if you write down the concentration of BrO2, that is by change in the concentration of time, minus, since it is not having any stoichiometric value, the same thing you will get it, is equal to, see this is also reactants, minus 1 by 6 delta concentration of hydrogen ions by delta T. This is also equal to products, since it is there, concentration of Br2 by change in the time, change in the concentration. Since it is having the stoichiometric 3, so 1 by 3. This value is nothing but the positive only. All these rate of reactions are equal. That is equal to 1 by 3 times of change in the concentration of water by change in the time taken. So like this, we will write down the rate of reactions for all the reactants and the products. While writing the reactants, we will keep the minus. While writing the products, we will write down the positive. So this is one example. You have to write down, you have to practice it. Then again, so rate law, already we know that if the rate of reaction, if you have written in terms of the concentration of the reactants, raise it to the power of stoichiometric values, that is called the rate law or rate equation. So this is the important one. But this rate of reaction, if you express in terms of the differential value of concentration by change differential value of dt in terms of time, this is called the rate law. It is called the K into concentrations of the reactants raised to the power of their stoichiometric values. So this equation we will call it as differential rate equation. Differential rate equation. So that is d minus d by d concentration, change in the concentration of R by change in the time taken for small values. So this is the K into concentrations of the reactants raised to the power of X. If one more concentration is also there, it is raised to the power of Y. So then this expression we will call it as differential rate of equation. And here K is called the rate constant. So rate constant, if you wanted to calculate it, what you have to write down? That is rate of reaction rate by, that is concentrations of the reactants. If you divide it, you will get the value of K. So the rate constant. So what are the units for the rate constant? So change in the concentration by time taken. Concentration means we will write down the moles per liter by time taken, also seconds. So we can say that mole, liter inverse, second inverse is the units for the rate of reaction. Rate of reaction is moles per liter inverse and second inverse. So this is the moles per liter per or mole in liter inverse, second inverse by concentrations. Concentration is expressed in the moles per liter. Moles per liter. Suppose if you express it, K value you will get it. Okay, K constant values, constant units you can get it. But this constant values are depend upon the one more term is the order of reactions. So order of reactions generally what is order? If you express the concentrations in terms of rate law, if you express the concentrations in terms of the rate law, the powers of the concentrations, that total, the sum is called the order of the reaction. X plus Y is called the order of the reaction. So this order, it may be 0 or 1 or 2 like this. That is, order will be only in the whole numbers. So there was no, sometimes it may be in the fractions also. Okay, so sometimes generally this expression we have written theoretical by observation of the theoretical equation of the balanced equation. But afterwards the scientists they observed that practical values also they observed and they found that the order may not be equal to their power sum of these two powers. Sometimes they may observe that is hypothetical values only. So like that they explained. So the order may be 0 or 1 or 2 whole numbers. So next one, molecularity. Molecularity is nothing but the number of molecules or number of moles that are participating in the reaction. Okay, already we know that 2 times of examples are there. N2 plus H2, 3H2 gives rise to 2 molecules of ammonia, 2 volumes. So here 1 mole of nitrogen plus 3 moles of hydrogen will give us the 2 moles of ammonia. Or we can say 1 molecular values of nitrogen and 3 molecules of hydrogen reacts and gives the 2 molecules of water. So that means molecularity means number of molecules that are taken part in the reaction. But generally this molecularity will be the whole numbers only. They never be a fraction because no fractional molecules will take place in the reaction. So definitely they are asking the difference between the order of the reaction and the molecularity. Order means the sum of the powers of the concentrations which are expressed in terms of a rate law. But molecularity means number of molecules that are taking place in the reaction. Order of a reaction is only in the whole numbers as well as the fractions also. But molecules, they never be a fraction. So like that some differences are there. Those differences they are asking between these two. In the textbook they might have given the differences between the order of a molecule and the molecularity. So this is about the molecularity. Now we will come to the units of reaction constants. So how many types of orders are there? Order the 0 order, first order, second order, like that order of molecule order is there. But this order actually it is not coming from the exact values of the quotients of the powers of the sum of the powers of these reactions, concentrations, reactants concentration. It is not actually equal, but sometimes experimentally they found that they may not be equal to the sum of these two. Okay. But the general values they may get either 0, 1, 2 or in the fractions also you will get in. So generally the reactions are carried into 3 categories: 0 order, first order, second order. Up to 2 or second order only we will learn it. But in some calculations we will get only the 0 order and the first order. So next we will see the units of the reactions constants. Okay. So already we know that zero order, first order, second order. As per our knowledge, okay, that is rate law. If you express k into reactants to the power, if it is zero, then only we will call it as zero order of the reaction. The power should be zero. Already we know that any number to raise it to the power 0 is equal to 1. We know that. So therefore, if you want to write down the K is equal to the concentration of the reactants by concentration of the reactants raised to the power 0. That is nothing but it is equal to the R0 is equal to 1. R by 1 is equal to concentration of R only. Concentration of R is moles per liter per second inverse. So this is the unit for the constant K for a zero order of a reaction. For a zero order of a reaction. Now you want to calculate the first order. Okay, that means R value should be 1. Then 1 means what are the values you will get it for the K. K is equal to, what is the answer? Okay, rate by a concentration of the reactants. Rate is equal to moles per liter inverse second inverse by rate of concentration of the reactants, moles per liter only. So these two values will be cancelled. So K is equal to second inverse. That is the units for the K if the order is 1. If the zero order is there, what are the units you got it? We know it. So for the K is equal to second inverse. That is first zero order moles per liter inverse and second inverse. First order K is equal to second inverse. For the second order 2, that means what will happen? R square it becomes. So when R square is there, so square you have to write down. Square means what you will get? These two will be cancelled and one more moles per liter you will get it. Suppose you take it upside, you will get that one mole inverse, liter, second inverse. So this is the units for the K value for the 2, order 2. So these are the units for the rate constant. So let us see one more again. So what is the rate order if the concentrations of the reactants rise to the powers and the total of these two powers we will call it as order of the reaction. For zero order, what you should get? X plus Y should become 0. X plus Y should become 0. Therefore, rate is equal to K into concentration of the reactants. K value you have to calculate. That means rate of the reaction by concentration of the reactants. Rate already we know that moles per liter per second by concentration means moles per liter. These two will be cancelled and you will get as second inverse. If it is 1, if it is 0, what you will get here? 1. Therefore, moles per liter per second only is the units for the zero order. For first order, what will happen? 1. 1 means here what it becomes? Moles per liter. So these two will be cancelled. You will get second inverse is the first order. Second order means already you know that mole inverse, liter, second inverse. So this is for the second order. Sometimes in calculations by observing the units we can come to know which order of the reaction. By observing the units of the K constant value we can come to know which reaction is there. Example, in a reaction the rate constant is 1.7986 in second inverse value if they have given. So by observing the rate constant value of the units second inverse if it is given, so we can come to know that the order of the reaction is first order. Because first order units are only second inverse. Suppose if they have given mole inverse, liter and second inverse if it is given, then we can come to know this is the second order constant value. By observing these two values we can come to know. By observing the units also we can come to know which order will be there.